Hi, Scott Sattler, Managing Director of Complete Corporate Services. The following educational presentation covers modules surrounding topics demonstrating how lawyers can use investigators to assist in areas of law such as commercial, family, criminal, and personal injury. I hope you find the use of investigators by the legal industry helpful.
Module 7, Specialist Areas continued. The legal industry is segmented into a number of different specialist areas. We will now examine how various specialist family legal practitioners use investigators. Domestic violence. Australia is suffering from a domestic violence epidemic which has resulted in significant increases in complaints to police and court applications, ending with various orders against offenders. Vicariously through their services, specialist family and criminal lawyers are involved in either the prosecution of or defence of these orders, including the monitoring of ongoing conditions, which also includes the detection of breaches of such orders. Lawyers use the investigation industry to gather evidence relating to the occurrence of domestic violence and breaches of orders and/or defence to allegations or breaches. Services could include, but are not limited to, crime scene analysis and recording, witness statements, preservation of electronic footprint evidence, timeline creation and analysis, alibi evidence, surveillance, legal covert recordings, victim risk assessments, victim extraction, urgent response evidence gathering, the enforcement and execution of orders, service of documents with supporting affidavits, removal of or collection and/or protection of property, and your client's security and safety, as well as general preparation of evidence of criminal offences including stalking, violent and threatening conduct, and engaging law enforcement. Child custody disputes. In separation, childcare arrangements are attempted to be made in the best interests of the child. A large component of practitioners' work includes preparing evidence for clients supporting their position. Evidence is also required to discredit the position of the other side in many cases. Practitioners will use investigators to assist with evidence which either supports the concerns of their client and/or discredits the other side. Via surveillance, general investigations, including online, and covert engagement investigations will often provide evidence of false statements or affidavits sworn by the other party. Investigating children at risk. This may also include association with persons during times of care who are undesirable and harmful to the child, substantiating inappropriate behaviour or poor conduct and poor parenting, new partner suitability, leaving children unattended, leaving children with undesirable persons, and supervising contact or handovers. Asset investigations. Formal asset searches are obvious and are able to be undertaken by practitioners. However, getting the real picture can be difficult and requires different legal methodology. Investigators covertly engaging often pays results. In asset investigations, lawyers use investigators to confirm the occurrence of separation, reconciliation, or other significant events, identify, locate, and verify property interests, exposing fraud, misrepresentations, or non-disclosure, evidence for applications relating to and execution of Anton Pillar orders, and personal or property protection, amongst others. Let's consider a case study. In a case where assets were being hidden, periods of surveillance followed the husband into an industrial marine shed with signage indicating a chandlery business was operating from the site. Posing as a buyer, a number of marine items were purchased from the husband by the investigator instructed by lawyers who acted for the wife. During this process, the husband was legally recorded saying that he owned and operated the business. Later, an offer was made by another investigator to purchase the business from the husband. After substantial negotiation, an acquisition price was agreed to, plus stock, plant, and equipment. The husband undertook a substantial stock take, cataloguing every item, plant, and equipment, along with wholesale value, and had his commercial lawyers produce a contract of sale, including schedule of stock, plant, and equipment, documenting full agreed sale price. The premises and stock had been covertly videotaped by investigators. In the contract, the vendor was documented as a trust, with the husband's brother as trustee. When tendered by the husband, he was legally recorded stating that his brother was a front for him and it was a messy divorce situation. The exercise cost the wife $6,200 but added a further $460,000 to the asset pool. Child and spousal maintenance. A number of former partners do whatever they can to reduce their income, ultimately decreasing their exposure to the requirement to pay child or spousal maintenance. Common methodology includes, but is not limited to, general decrease of income, diversion of income through another entity or other means, and payment in cash. Let's consider another case study. In a case where investigators were used and representing purchasing a business owner had a number of legally recorded discussions regarding turnover and profitability, and producing financial supporting profitability and discrediting information provided to the child support agency. In another case, a supplier was legally recorded quoting a job to an investigator requiring cash off the books and further bragging that he makes $3,000 a week in cash so that his ex doesn't see a cent of maintenance. Surveillance operations have clearly discredited representations made by showing former spouses attended job sites for long periods of time on an ongoing basis, obviously working and obviously being paid for such work. Recovery orders. When recovery orders are made, from time to time, there may be difficulty in execution as the caregiver is uncooperative. For example, the high-profile Tommaso Vincenti matter. Investigators are often used to provide intelligence of the location or whereabouts of the children and the offending caregiver. Let's consider a final case study. In a case, the caregiver left Mackay with 3 children and their grandparents to avoid a recovery order. Investigators were able to trace social media use by the 2 children and predict their destination west of Newcastle because of the association of friends documented in Facebook and other published communication. Surveillance was stacked at the anticipated address, which legally produced video evidence of the relevant party's existence. The intelligence was provided to police, who executed the recovery order and took possession of the children.
Thanks for participating in the presentation. We hope you found it valuable. If you require further information or assistance, please don't hesitate to contact Complete Corporate Services via email, operations@completecorp.com.au, or call us 1300 911 334.